Hello everyone and welcome back to Modded Minecraft with Nightdagger episode 37. I got a couple of things that I want to do today. As you can see, I have a couple of generators set up on this input line over here now, because it occurred to me that I have so many of these ME cells that I've been accumulating that I might as well use them for something. They are coming as a result of the fact that I finally went through and refined all of the rubber wood that I have. However, you can see that regular wood is still proving to be a little bit of an issue. I've been kind of combating that a little bit by turning it into paper using the carpenter over here. Because if you take a piece of wood and put it in a carpenter, it gets you wood pulp, and then 2 wood pulp gets you paper. So I've been making tons and tons of paper over here. I've also done a little bit of work off camera here. First of all, you can hear I have a new friend. This is Mutton Chop. Found him while I was out exploring the other day. And I went and got myself some more bees. Specifically, what I've been working on is I have been working on crossbreeding an industrious strain that has the fast trait. And I've made some progress, not on this strain in particular, but on some of them. We'll cross those 2 back in. Pull these bees out and check them. Okay, this one hasn't picked anything up yet. But here is a purebred fast, so we're going to try and combine those in. That one's still working, that one's still working, and then here's where the Imperials start up. Actually, this here is an industrious. Let's check these guys out. Industrious was slowest. This looks like a purebred slowest, so we're not going to bother restarting this one at the moment. We're just going to put the bee back in there and let it sit. Here's Imperials, Imperials, these are my tropical strains, and then here's another cultivated I've been trying to get over. And then over here I've got 4 more bees that I've got going. You can see I've got a couple of bees over here that do have the fast worker trait. And I can't remember which one it is, but one of these hives is a purebred industrious fast. So, as soon as these finish up and I figure out which one it is, I'm going to start using the drones from that to try and breed the fast trait into the others. Over here I've still got my Sinisters, which are just kind of sitting around not doing a whole lot of anything. And then over here I had some Modestes that I was crossbreeding into industrious. Didn't take long to get to a point where they didn't want the arid temperature anymore. You can see not much has changed over here. Still have all of my farms running. Still got my sheep over there. Everything here is still working properly. I did use some of my drones that I've been crossbreeding over there for the crossbreeding in. Without going into too much detail on this right now, as you can see, industrious as a species is recessive. Blue is recessive, red is dominant. Now, the problem with a recessive trait is that it's more difficult to get this trait into something than it is to get a red trait into something. So, if you're wanting to breed bees that are industrious and fast, since industrious is a recessive trait and fast is a dominant trait, it is much easier to try and breed industrious into an existing fast strain than it is to try and breed fast into an industrious strain. Because if you try to breed fast into an industrious strain, it's very likely that the industrious is going to get bred out before the fast gets bred in. However, if you're trying to do it the other way, it's not very likely that the fast is going to get totally bred out of the line, but if you go at it for long enough, you will eventually get that recessive trait to hold, which is what I've been doing over here. Let's go ahead and grab the pollen we've got out of these. No pollen in there, and nothing in there. Let's go through and check these for the moment. Okay, this one here, it has finished running. And these bees here, these are all flyaway bees. check these here, see what we got. You're an industrious princess with purebred fast. And you're an industrious drone with purebred fast. Now you also have a normal life. You have shorter and short, so eventually short is going to be the dominant one there. And then here is another industrious drone with pure fast and short normal. So if I combine these bees together, it's very likely that at some point the normal is going to go away and it's just going to be left with fast. But that's okay. Let's check these bees. This one here has slowest speed and normal. Slowest and normal. Slowest and normal. But this one here is a pure fast, so we'll combine those two together. Now that we've got industrious bred in, we can try to breed the fast in, and as long as we use the purebred bees that we're getting out of these, the ones that are pure fast, we're not going to run a risk of getting industrious out of the strain. As to exactly what I need those industrious bees for, well, we'll get to that at some point here in the not too distant future, but you can see in my bee products chest I'm starting to accumulate a pretty good amount of pollen, and I've got quite a bit of royal jelly from my imperial strain. Let's throw these bees in the bee flyaway box. And we'll come back and check our bees in a minute. There's something that I started last episode that I want to work on today. And that is this biogas system up here. So what I want to do is I want to get a whole bunch of engines and put them on here. Now I'm going to have 6 biogas engines on this line. Why 6? Well, because I can, pretty much. Actually, no, I think I'll just go with 3. 3 biogas engines should be plenty of power for that. I've already got 2 here, so all we gotta do is request 1 more. Let's see if I can figure out where they are. There they are. We'll request 1 biogas engine out of our system. And we're gonna need some more pipes. Now, in the downtime, I've had my system back here running pretty constantly, producing chipsets for me. So let's come over here and throw the chipsets in the buildcraft chest. And let's call for a few more logistics pipes to be made. I have quite a few of them at the moment, but I would like to have some more on hand. As soon as I find them. There they are. Basic logistics pipes, you can see I have 0 on hand. Let's go ahead and request 16 more. We're also going to want our liquid supplier pipes. We're going to need both of those. And then we're going to need 1 more to be made. And then we're also going to need some regular suppliers. So let's go ahead and in our tool chest grab 2 of our buckets. And let's grab a fairly good amount of lapis. And we're going to come over here. We're going to use the lapis. Actually, I think the buckets have to go on top and bottom. We're going to make a 3rd liquid supplier pipe. And then we're going to make 4 supplier pipes. Let's come up to our system up here. Actually, I think I already have suppliers on these. Looks like it. Oh well, extras won't hurt. Let's get our wrench while we're at it. And let's check our power banks. I haven't checked those in a while. 32 million there, 2.6 million on that one. The MFSUs are getting pretty full though. How am I doing for scrap? Decent amount of scrap. Let's go ahead and run the mass fabricator for a little while. Now we got our wrench. Let's come over here, and I'm actually going to need a few more pipes. I'm going to want a golden pipe and a wooden pipe. Let's get 1 golden transport. I don't have any conductives, do I? Nope. So we'll get one more golden transport pipe. We're going to get 2 wood planks, 1 piece of glass. We're going to need a few pieces of redstone for this. There it is, redstone. Just grab 2 pieces of that. Gets us a wooden conductive and a golden conductive, which we will put on here. You and you, and then we'll put you down here. Oops. Give these a whack. Let's move this torch. Just put them like that. And then off of the edge of this supplier system, we're going to have our liquid suppliers coming over to feed our biogas engines. And I just need plain old cobblestone pipe for this connection. Let's come over here and let's request some cobblestone transport pipes. Just grab like 20. Never know, I might have to revamp some of the system in a little bit. I know there's a certain part of it that I'm going to have to revamp. Alright, so we are going to come over here and we're going to connect these systems just like that. And we're going to come over here and we're going to find this one here is our seed production system. That one's all well and good. The other two we're going to break. We don't want our system making plant balls out of wheat or sugarcane anymore. There we go. We do still want it making out of seeds, so we're going to leave this system running. Over here, we're going to need, let's see, we are going to need to request a couple of things out of our system here. We're going to need to request, say, a total of 32 fertilizer. We're going to need to request 2 biomass capsules. We're going to need to request 2 biomass cans. And then we're going to need some wheat and some sugarcane, which isn't going to take us long for our system to accumulate. Let's see here. I'm more worried about the fact right now that I'm not entirely sure this thing has been working properly. It looks like it has. We go upstairs, have our biogas casks. Yep, there they are. They've been delivered, so it is working properly. However, instead of wasting time, let's go ahead and grab just some more of our beeswax and just make ourselves some more capsules. And we'll just go toss a stack of capsules in by hand. Let it start draining some of our biogas out. You can see we're actually losing biogas at a pretty steady rate now. Come over here and we're going to put all but 2 of our capsules in the system here. Head back upstairs and we'll start supplying this system. Each one of these, we're going to tell it to keep 2 of each. Just like that. And then each one of these, we're going to tell it to keep 32 fertilizer. And then this one here, we are going to connect this to our logistics system. But this one here, we're only going to tell it to stock fertilizer. Now we're going to take another supplier pipe and we're going to put it on this side. I'll explain why we're doing that in a few minutes. You can see here comes our fertilizer being stocked into it. Now we need to get a few items. We're going to go to our buildcraft chest. We're going to get ourselves some of these iron ore gates that we've been making, and a good amount of pipe wire. We're going to come over here, and I also have quite a few iron ore gates in here. We're going to need to take most of them. We're going to come up here, and on the pipe up top here, we're going to put an iron ore gate on each one of these fermenters. We're also going to put one on the wooden pipe for each one of these, and then we're going to link the whole network together using some of this red alloy. Or not red alloy, man, I wish it was red alloy. This red pipe wire. Just like that. We're going to interface with these gates, and we're going to give it the has worked condition, send a red pipe signal. And over here, we're going to give it the red pipe signal, redstone signal. Alright. By now, we should see a relatively large amount of resources being pumped into our miscellaneous chest. Large amount of sugarcane and a large amount of wheat has already made it there. We've also got some silky propolis in there for some reason. We're going to go to our food chest and we're going to drop a piece of wheat, because that's where we're going to want to have all of our excess wheat go. We're also going to drop sugarcane in there, because we want our excess sugarcane to go in there. Over here, we've got a whole bunch of plant balls. We're going to take a good amount of those. And let's go ahead to our food chest and just deposit all of our sugarcane and then take half of stack back. And we need to get some wheat. Let's get the wheat out of there. We're just going to throw that in there. Again, we'll need half a stack for what we're doing. Let's go to the village and borrow some wheat. They won't mind. As long as we replant it, they're not going to care too much. After all, I did kind of single-handedly save their species. If I hadn't come and put your two surviving people together, you wouldn't be here. Alright, we'll let ourselves back in. Come over to the food chest, where we're going to dump off 3 pieces of wheat. Going to clean up our inventory a little bit. We are going to want this diamond chest, but we're going to throw the auto crafting tables, the regular chests in there. Going to throw all of the excess gates and pipe wire, everything we don't need in there. Got a whole bunch of extra lapis that we don't need, and then we've got some pipes that we're not going to need anymore, along with our item sync modules, which let's clean those out so we're not retaining any information on those. You know they're clean when they stack. And we'll throw away the wooden transport pipes, the logistic chassis marks 1s, we won't need those. We shouldn't need the providers, but we will, or the suppliers, but we will need a provider pipe, which is just a basic logistic pipe with a piece of glowstone on it, if I remember properly. And we are going to need half-stack saplings. We're going to come up here and we're going to start telling this system what to keep in stock. This one here, we're going to tell it it's going to keep half a stack of compressed plants. This one is going to keep half a stack of wheat. This one is going to keep half a stack of sugarcane. And this one is going to keep half a stack of nothing. Over here, we're going to hook up this provider pipe right here. We're going to hook up that chest right there. We're going to make sure that this pipe is set in normal inventory mode. And we're going to tell this to keep half a stack of saplings. Now, why did we do that way? Because if it's left to its own devices, it will quite greedily gobble up every single sapling I have here. And I don't want it to do that. I only want it to make biogas out of saplings when I tell it to make biogas out of saplings. That way I can keep a certain amount of saplings in stock. However, the rest of this stuff I don't really care about. I'm producing enough sugarcane and enough compressed plants and enough seeds that it's not a huge deal. I do want to keep a few seeds in reserve just in case. And we can come over here and drop off our canned fuels also. And let's come over here and let's grab our biomass capsules out of there and start loading some more up. Drop those in there. And let's come over here to our sapling chest and let's grab a full inventory of this crap. Our fertilizer chest, we'll dump the fertilizer back in. Our cobblestone chest, you can see we've accumulated 78,000 cobblestone now. I think we're in good shape for that for now. Just toss all that in there. And we'll toss our pipes away in here. We shouldn't need those anymore. And we'll grab a few more saplings. We'll come up here and we'll put the saplings in this chest here. Now this supplier has something it can be doing. So it's going to load up. And we now have a full supply to all of this stuff. However, we're missing one crucial element. We still have to supply water to these tanks. So, we need to get a water source going. Just so happens, we have a build crap pump. Also just so happens that we have a way to make an engine that's going to pump as much water as we need it to. We're going to go ahead and grab about 20 of those. And that is relatively cheap to operate and can work on demand. As opposed to, well, I guess we can just leave it running full time. So we're just going to get one of our peat-fired engines. We're going to want to supply our pipe. And we're going to need a bucket. Or two. We're going to come over here and we're going to grab 2 buckets of water. And somewhere up here, I'm thinking right about here is going to be a good place, we're going to make ourselves an infinite water source. What are we going to make an infinite water source out of? Well, just so happens we have enough cobblestone that we may as well use it for something, huh? Let's get ourselves, say, 20 pieces of cobble. This doesn't have to be pretty. Might come pretty it up later, but for right now, we're going back to form versus function. We need an interior of 3 by 3. We're just going to do a little bit of that. Put our water there. Put another bucket there. Scoop that up. Come on. There we go. Come on. Yay, graphical glitches, huh? Put our pipe there. Break those out. On this side, I think I'll put the peat-fired engine. We're going to put the supplier pipe on the side here. We're going to need a way to splice it into our logistics network. Haven't figured out how to do this part yet. Probably just going to have to run it up and over the top from one of these pipes. Which means I'm going to need a few logistics pipes and a few cobblestone. Let's grab, say, 10 cobble and 1 basic. We'll run over here. And on the side here, we're going to turn that into a basic pipe, which we're going to bring up here and we're going to splice into that. Need a piece of peat? No. Just one. Put our wrench back on our hotbar. And here, I'm going to tell it to keep 2 pieces of peat in stock at all times. Off to the side here, we're going to connect our pipes, which we're going to bring to the back here. Oops, no, we don't want that in the middle there. We want this just like this. And last but not least, we need a way to get power to that thing, which is as simple as using a redstone torch. Cough it up. Thank you. So, we put power to this engine here. It's going to start pumping water for us. It's going to fill these things, and these things are now going to recognize, hey, I can be doing stuff. So they're going to send a redstone signal. These engines are going to turn on and start supplying power. And these things are going to start producing biogas. Now, we have one more problem to deal with here. And it's something that I hadn't previously considered. We need a way to get the biogas out, don't we? The only way to do that is going to be from underneath. So I'm going to have to punch a hole in the floor here. And actually what I might do is I might change my water supply system to go underneath. As a matter of fact, I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to change my water supply system here. Let's break that, break all of this crap. Break you. This is one of the disadvantages of not planning the stuff out ahead in a test world and just going for it, is that occasionally I'll make stupid mistakes. However, I think the stupid mistakes actually make the series better. Because you get to see what really happens during the planning stage of a build, as opposed to just seeing the pretty effect. And my mouse has been messing up on me again. I just bought a new mouse not terribly long ago. I need a new one already. The right click has become hypersensitive. Put that there. And then over here, let's find where I drilled through the floor. It's probably on this side of the biogas tank. Yeah, there it is. So, over here, we're going to connect our pipes just like this, and then it occurs to me that we already have a system that's supplying water to something, don't we? It's not terribly far away, is it? Let's take advantage of that. After all, we've already come to the conclusion that this system that we've got going on down here is supplying far more water than we really need. So I may as well use that excess water for something. But now, how do I... first of all, let's make absolutely sure I'm in the right place first. Yep. We're going to run this down here. We're going to need a few more golden pipes. Yeah, you can see these water tanks have completely filled up. They wouldn't do that if they didn't have such a massive surplus. We're just going to connect it down here. We're just going to need a few more waterproof pipes to do that. So, pipes, let's just grab the remainder of that stack. And hunger has overtaken me. I can't sprint anymore. We'll just have to monitor the water level on our steam engines, and if they start to get too low, we'll have to come and fix it. Actually, you know what? I don't want to take the risk, because a steam engine overheating is bad juju. I would rather have a second pump up and running down here. Especially since this one over here is only running off 4 redstones. It's not running off a full 1 EU per tick. We'll just do it this way. Get our pump. Put him there. Bring our gold waterproof down. Off of this logistics system here that we have supplying this with coal. We'll run ourselves a pipe over here. It's not pretty, but it'll get the job done. We'll put our peat-fired engine on the side here. We'll put our supplier pipe on the bottom. We'll interface with that. Tell it to keep 2 pieces of peat in stock at all times. We're going to throw a couple pieces in there. It's going to throw in another request, but that's okay. It's not going to hurt anything to have a little extra in there. And then just off the side of this water tank here, I think I'm just going to put the redstone torch right there. That'll supply water up this pipe, upstairs, into our system. If it bothers me too much, I can cover it with facades. I hate not being able to sprint, so let's grab a couple pieces of bread. There we go. Put these away. We're going to need, out of our build craft chest, we're going to need 4 redstone engines. Over here, we're going to need 4 waterproof pipes, of which I only have 3, so I'll have to make another one. Head back upstairs. And on the side of each one of these, we're going to have a wooden waterproof pipe coming out. I have to move this torch. If I attach this to the top of this, is that gonna... Well, it visually connects, but I don't think it's actually doing anything. Alright, and over here, we're going to connect these pipes all like this. And we'll do it just like that. I'm thinking I'm going to need some iron pipes here. However, doing it this way might have actually saved me a little bit of trouble, because these gates can be set independently. So I can set this thing to, let's see here. I can set this thing to a conditional that's always going to be true. Let's see, red pipe signal off, pipe empty, power traversing, inventory empty. Items in inventory should technically always be true. I can tell that to emit a redstone signal. And that should get all of those powered up. And we should see our biogas flooding into the system here. We should see it draining nicely out of these tanks. This tank's actually totally flooded with biogas. There we go, now we're pulling some out. And since these are wooden pipes, they shouldn't allow any backflow. There might be the occasional bit of backflow going, back this way, but as long as there's something pumping on these wooden pipes, it should push away from the wooden pipes, which means it should be pushing all of the biogas over to this point. So we should have a system here that's going to produce oodles and oodles of biogas with very little maintenance from us. Now over here you can see this system here has totally run out of resources to work with. This one here, we've still got the sugar canes. This one here is the wheat system, that's why it's out of supplies. This one here is the sapling system. It's going strong, producing biogas from saplings for us. Our 3 engines are handling the load nicely. Although kind of slowly. Might want to add a 4th or a 5th engine to this at some point. For right now, I think we're okay, though. Let's put this stuff away. Once again, I'm just going to dump this in here. And case in point with the ME cells that I was talking about earlier, remember I've had these generators running for 40 minutes now. And I still have 49 ME cells in this thing. Each one of those ME cells is producing 100,000 EU. And I have crap tons of the things. But I have no more rubber wood, which was the goal. Let's shut our mass fabricator off, because we're well drained of scrap by now. And our AESU is down to 17 million. And let's see here. Those engines seem to be working properly. We're pumping biogas out. Yeah, we are getting the occasional backflow, but nothing serious. But we're recovering large amounts of biogas now, which is what I wanted to see. Throw those up in there. And let's come over here to our industrial craft chest. You can see we have lots and lots and lots and lots of UU matter that we can play around with here. So let's go ahead and turn this into Iridium ore. And we got 59 iridium ore for our trouble. Which, if we compress that, is going to give us 59 iridium bars, which means we have about a stack of iridium. Which means we have about 16 plates. That should be enough to start a new build next episode. So, I think we're going to call it here. It's been a good 40 minutes now. Next episode, we are going to come back in and we're going to check on our progress with the bees. I'm just going to work on getting the industrious strains here to all be purebred fast, and then I'm going to do some trading with the villagers, get some more of those proven frames, and start collecting large amounts of pollen. And next episode, we will look at a use for all of the Iridium we've got, and maybe try a new build with bees. So this has been Nightdagger with Let's Play Modded Minecraft, episode 37. Hope you guys enjoyed it, and that you'll join me for the next one. I'll see you then.